What is going on YouTube? 0088 here, and today we're talking about some UK news. I'm always talking about American stuff really, but let's talk about some UK stuff, which is some crazy UK news. Young Philly been arrested in Aussie while he's on tour. Philly was getting a bit silly Billy with his willy in Aussie, and oh my days, what a nutcase. I've been debating, not really debating, but talking about this with my fiance, and she was really shocked, but I wasn't that shocked because I saw man's is a bit touchy-feely with the women, man. Like, we watched the 20v1 Sidemen video with Philly in it, which we really regretted not reacting to because it was probably one of the, if not the best ones. Even though he's a bit forward and touchy-feely with the women, it's one of the reasons why it was so funny to watch, and his personality, and you know, he's just a very loud and charismatic, and some people think he's a bit of a Pepe Le Pew horny guy, but that's what makes him so funny. Him and Harry Pinero, we missed out not reacting to that, and the Sidemen have actually taken that video down as a result of this stuff. And I've been watching a whole bunch of stuff on this. I've seen some videos of people defending him. I don't know if you guys have seen on that What's the Scene Saying channel, where he has this Australian, I think she's Nigerian, Australian chick who's like proper defending Philly. She claims she doesn't really know who he is, but she somehow has all this information about how the victim is lying about this and trying to get a bag or whatever. And then we got apparently one of Philly's ex-girlfriends got something to say where she says, oh, he was always good with me, he was always cordial with me. Everybody's hating on these two chicks, especially the ex-girlfriend, probably because she's not as loud and as good as defending herself as the Nigerian, Australian chick. That's what I'm calling her for now. I might be completely wrong about her heritage. She says she has all good experiences with Philly, and that he always asked for consent, and he was always asking if she wanted to do something or she didn't want to do something.
My experiences with Philly made me feel comfortable. And he was like, if you don't want to do anything, if you're not comfortable, we don't have to. I just want to make a point of, he's never made me feel any pressure, and I think until we've got definitive answers to the question, I'm not discrediting what's happened. I don't know the ins and outs, and probably neither do you. I'm just here to give a balanced side of the story, you know what I mean?
It's a good reference, but a lot of people are giving her shit like, why are you coming out and basically ruining our whole narrative? That's basically what they're saying, because they're happy with all the negative talk around him. They're like, yeah, Philly is a bit weird, yeah, but as soon as someone says anything positive about him, it's like, no, you're ruining this whole thing. It's a lie. Why are you victim blaming? Blah, 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 blah. Just because you had a good experience doesn't mean everyone else will have a good experience, which is true. But if you're going to take all the bad experiences into account, you've got to take all the good ones. Speaking of everybody that's got something bad to say about Philly, let's see Abba and Preach. By the way, I think Philly more than likely probably did it. I'm guessing, I don't know. Like, based on the charges, based on how confident, is it the prosecutors or I think it's the police, like the state is prosecuting him, or trying to prosecute him. And based on the charges and how confident they are in the news reports, it just feels like he did it based on what they've said. But anyway, Lab and Preach got a new video. I watched the Young Philly It's Finished video. As you can see, the red bar, 1 million views they got in 5 days. But let's see their new one, Young Philly Is Finished, Fresh and Fit. It's like, yeah, they used the same title. They should have called this Young Philly Is Finished 2. Fresh and Fit, Chunks and Brands respond.
Drake.
He said what?
June, Dr. Disrespect.
Oh, that's funny.
July, Chris from Mr. Beast. August, Mr. Beast. September,
Bro,
Diddy.
don't be laughing about all this shit. When they come for you, then it'll be next, man. Like, the thing is, yeah, these guys all did it, apparently, allegedly. But the thing is, all of these are accusations. None of these people have been arrested, to my knowledge, except for, like, Diddy and Philly, you know? So allegations are still allegations until someone is claimed guilty. And now, I'm not defending any abusers or anything like that, but, man, if you're a celebrity, if you're a big name, people can say some wild shit about you. Apparently, 3,000 odd people came out to have a claim about Diddy. How many of those 3,000 people do you think are legitimate? The prosecution only used 120 stories that they felt usable, you know, for Diddy's case anyway. But anyway.
October, Young Philly. Who gonna be up in November?
Cat Williams was fucking right about 2024. It's crazy.
Cat Williams, you said that.
There's been some updates, and I figured I would cover some of them.
Yes, my peoples, like everyone, I've heard the reports coming out of Australia. Whilst I understand many of you want my reaction on it, as this is an ongoing court case, I hope you guys can understand that I can't and won't be commenting on it publicly.
Right, Chunks and them lot are feeling it, right? I know Harry Pinero is sweating. It's crazy because Harry Pinero was kind of a wild boy, a little bit like Philly as well. Though I think he was more verbal, where Philly was more touchy. But Harry Pinero, he's sweating right now. Like they must be like, fuck, like because he's associated with all of them, so he's rubbing off on them a little bit. I've already heard some people saying some bad stuff about Chunks and everything, like nothing crazy, but just now they're dissecting not just Philly but all his peoples as well, which is crazy. Can't imagine what Chunks is thinking right now. I mean, I know there's videos going around of Chunks saying, nah, I can't let you marry my sister or whatever, or I've heard stories about you, and there's clips going around that Chunks was already kind of distancing himself or giving the impression that he was distancing himself from Philly, but apparently there were boys from Young. Well, I don't know how tight they actually are. Maybe their friendship is more on camera than off camera. Who knows?
So yeah, I've just come on here to basically let you know the reasons as to why I can't love.
What?
Did you let me marry into your family?
Yeah, this is the clip I was just talking about.
You are a great flipping human being on my life, brother. Yeah, I'll let you. We've been out since you have been family.
Yeah, I would have let you marry my family, but yeah.
Why? I'm a good man. What's wrong with me?
No, I had too many stories.
Heard too many stories. See, the thing is, when this first came out, you'd interpret that at the time as, oh, he just sleeps around, he's a ladies' man, especially since you've seen how he is with women and how forward he is and how, like, he's just a flirt, he's a Pepe Le Pew. He's a bit horny, but we never thought that would lead into something like this, Like, yeah, when you look back on it, you can be like, oh, shit, those are the signs. But until someone does something, it's just he's charismatic, or he's a talker, he's a sweet talker, he's a ladies' man, he's a womanizer. That's how we would have seen this, like, oh, you're too much of a womanizer to marry my sister. But now it's like, oh no, you're a rapist. Well, that's a jump, but yeah. I don't know how much of this is just looking at it in hindsight and adding stuff to it rather than it being a legitimate insight to why Philly did what he did.
So you guys remember what I said? It's over whether he's found guilty or not. And people are like, oh, you guys are condemning him. I'm not condemning him to anything. I'm just saying based off of his brand and the work that he's done, the mere accusation is enough to ruin everything he's built up until now, especially in an environment like the media of the UK. He had his own like mustard line or some shit. He was doing things with ASOS. He was doing things with BBC. He was doing, with all kinds of things. Okay? Which, in the context of a great case,
I thought I was about to say. He was doing a lot of things with his BBC.
He was doing things with his BBC he shouldn't have. But anyway.
Doing things with the BBC.
So let me take a look at some of that stuff.
That's a little good.
Super pause.
I had that sit mind frame. I allowed it. I stayed with it. She did things with the BBC, and I lay with it. Cash App.
What?
Now, honestly, this must have been the most expensive weekend of his entire life. Because just as we spoke about in the last video, creators and brands have started distancing themselves from Mr. Philly. Now, the first one that I saw was the Sidemen obviously removed their 20 versus 1 edition. That actually happened as I was recording the last video, which, I mean, had 42 million.
He said 20v1, but he showed the Tinder. Did they remove the Tinder as well? I don't know if you showed the wrong thing.
Recording the last video, which, I mean, had 42 million views, so that would have been a painful one to remove. The FA cancelled a new show that was going to have Philly cooking alongside other big Premier League players. His sauce that he had with Heinz, that's been pulled. His clothing line with Perplex has been taken down. Foot Asylum announced that they are suspending their contract with Young Philly with immediate effect.
Bro, I pray that, man, I don't pray because I don't want... It's a weird one. Like, you don't want someone to actually have been abused, but at the same time, like, if you're going to say that shit, it better be true, because this guy's life is ruined. Because if he hasn't done it, Jesus. If he ain't red pill after this, I'm not saying you gotta be red pill, I'm just saying he's gonna go down some next rabbit hole, man.
His dating show with Gymshark called Hit Off has now been
He probably did it.
His first live show for the Chunks in Philly podcast is now being cancelled, and the producers of that show, Upload Productions, well, they said that they are pausing all and any work with Young Philly.
Everything. That's what I meant when I said it's all dead. And if he's found not guilty, it's not coming back.
No, it's not coming back.
That's what I'm trying to make y'all understand on this. Now, you guys can argue for whether or not it's fair. And there's an argument to be made that before you've been found guilty in court, is it right that you lose everything? And I probably would argue not. But the way brands function...
What do you mean you probably would argue not, man? It's such a fucked up thing. Like, brands are so quick to... There should be I don't know if a law or something, some kind of thing where brands don't just jump the gun and fire and destroy your life based on an allegation. Like, you know how you have workers' protection and all that stuff? Like, your bosses can't just fire you. They have to give you warnings. They have to... I mean, I guess it depends what you have in your contract or what kind of dynamic you have. Because I guess having a sponsorship in a brand deal isn't the same as having like a full-time job or something. I don't know how it all works, but like it's just so messed up that I guess a brand can let you go for any reason, but if you've got a contract's a contract, right? Maybe celebrities should start putting in their contracts, under any circumstances, you cannot let me go based on an allegation or based on something like that. And if you try to say it's not based on that, but it really is based on that, I can take you to court and sort that out, you know? Like, maybe they should start adding that to their contracts. I don't know. But it's crazy that based on just an allegation, your whole career, all your deals are just gone.
But there's an unexpected guest involved in all this that has a take on this. The boy Fresh just came out the woodwork. He had a hot take on Philly saying, I know him. The only rapist they support is Andrew Tate, apparently. You want to hear what Fresh and Fit have to say?
Fresh and Fit coming against Philly, mainly Fresh just feels like he just... I don't even know that. Maybe they're just trying to get on that bandwagon of like, man, we just getting hit left, right, and center. Abba and Preach hitting us. We're getting hit with demonetizations. We're getting banned off Twitch. We're getting hit on this side, getting hit on that side. Let's just start jumping on let's actually be on the right side, quote unquote, of the story for now. You know, the safe side. I don't blame him, to be honest.
But it's just Fresh is talking. Be patient.
That's crazy.
I'm going to try to explain. Right. That being said, as the guy behind the scenes.
That being said, he sounds just like
other like big YouTubers. Why haven't any of them come out to defend him?
But why is that though? Could it be true?
The way he talks kills me.
Release me.
Why is that though? Could it be because he's guilty? I don't know. There's something that can be said. All right, let's go.
These guys love dogging on Fresh and Fit, man.
They're having a great time. The club is closing in like 30 minutes or so. Out of the blue, this guy pops up. I'm like, who is this nigga? Talking to the girls, touchy-feely. I'm just like, did someone invite this nigga? Mind you, I don't know who he is. Mind you, he didn't know most of the girls there. He just knew one of them that I was talking to, which is fine. And we're chilling, vibing, whatever.
Well, what's wrong?
It is the worst storytelling.
I just think that if you give it some time, it's like watching something fast forwarded, but it's also buffering at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like
I know it's fun to dog on Fresh, but they're literally ripping into his speech impediment. Like, he's clearly got some kind of speech impediment, right? Like, but you know, Fresh and Fit, we dog on him.
So come to the club and there's way about Philly just coming through and talking to one of the girls, and
the nigga's like thirsty, bro. Like, when I say like overly thirsty, is like grabbing her, trying to pull her to the car, take away from her friend. This is like, bro, do your thing. I'm not gonna stop you because, hey, that's not you, brother. The nigga's pulling the girl to the car, like pulling her, legit pulling her, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the hotel. And her friends are like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Philly, like, if you watch how he moves with women, if this is a true story, it kind of fits. Like, we saw that clip of I Show Speed in the car with Philly and then two girls, and Philly starts choking the girl, and then I think they're playing some kind of game where they got to copy what the other person's doing to the girl, and then I Show Speed was like, what the hell are you doing? And I Show Speed's not one to not, you know, scoff at doing crazy shit. And even he was like, what the hell are you doing? Are you trying to choke her? Like,
Not crazy.
Choking her? What the fuck, you trying to kill her?
It wasn't like a choke, it was more like a, you know what I mean?
What the yeah, see, look.
What?
Yo, okay.
Monkey see, monkey do, bro.
but yeah, man, Philly's definitely handsy and maybe a bit aggressive, a tad aggressive with women on camera, so Lord knows what he would do off camera, but that's neither here nor there.
Crazy, like, what's happening? Somebody go get her. She's like, where are you guys going? Like, why is he pulling me this way? So I leave. I go to my hotel. I get a text saying, yo, listen, drop her off to you right now, which is the YouTuber girl that told me she's coming.
Okay, so she grabbed her from him.
Yeah. And then I asked her, so what happened? You didn't want to go home, boy? Oh, no, this and that. He was being pushy, whatever. But I want to go home with you. I just don't want to, like, make a scene. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Kind of find out. I called the other YouTuber girl later on. She told me the full story of what happened. He wanted to smash by any means possible. So I was like, oh, shit, this is how the thing moves. She's like, yeah, everyone knows.
Jesus, fresh dropping him in it.
Other YouTuber girl later on, she told me the full story of what happened. He wanted to smash by any means possible. So I was like, oh shit, this is how this thing moves. So yeah.
Look at Myron. He's like, fuck man, why you just saying all this like this, man?
Everyone knows.
Damn. Even Fresh and Fit saying this dude weird. That being said.
That being said.
All right, go ahead.
Are they gonna? So are Eben Preach not gonna address the chick that came out to defend him and said, "Oh, we never had issues," or the Nigerian Australian chick that says it's all fake? But I've only ever seen one person use her as a reference. I don't know if what that is. It's all clout chasing or what. But maybe Eben Preach hasn't even seen it yet. It's quite a UK thing, but they seem to know the UK.
It's one thing if you have accusers in the public. Like you guys know, when Fresh and Fit got accused by that girl, and I went to go listen, I'm like, that story's bogus. So people are like, oh, are you just going to believe the story? It's not that I believe the story. I'm not even telling you guys what happened or what didn't happen.
Well, Abba and Preach have been wrong before, mainly Abba. Talking about that chick. I noticed Preach was never in them videos that much. I wonder what he was thinking. Abba was wrong before with that whole Fresh and Fit situation where he thought that Fresh legitimately got that Chinese chick pregnant. You know, I don't know if she was an OnlyFans chick or whatever she was, or, you know, some kind of sugar daddy, sugar baby, or whatever you call it. She claimed that Fresh got her pregnant, but it was all a lie, it was all bullshit. She was trying to extort money from him, and Abba completely was riding that thing, and he was completely wrong, and somehow we just brushed that away and no one cared again. But yeah, usually Abba and Preach are usually always right. But we'll see with this young Philly situation.
All the circumstantial evidence for me points to I would be very wary of him behind closed doors. That's it. And you might say that's a lot, but when I hear the prosecutor in court saying...
The thing is, most guys, I mean, maybe not as hard as Philly, but guys used to move like that when they used to chat to girls, man. Like, those are the guys that used to get the girls when they used to... Like, maybe Harry Pinero was moving more how you're supposed to. Like, yeah, you're a bit talkative, you're flirty, you're charismatic, you're sexual, but he's not touchy. Like, Philly's all of that, and he's touchy, and he's handsy. So minus that, most guys used to move like that. It's just only recently that now you just kind of have to say, hi, do you want to link up? No, bye. And that's the most you're allowed to say to a girl these days, it seems.
CCTV evidence. We have footage. We have photos of her injuries to her body that depict a history of violence on her. When he's saying we have an incredibly strong case, I'm like, okay, that's a fact. Who have nothing to gain, who privately, before any of this happened and after, tell me he moves a little bit weird. He's very aggressive with ladies.
Hey guys, it's Mala Isaac. I'm going to give my honest opinion.
See, that is using this guy, but are you going to use some of the people that are quote-unquote defending Philly as well? And you know what? I'm just going to reiterate this. I think it's more than likely he did it based on the charges and based on what they've said, like what Abba just said, the history of violence and the bruises, the fact that this is a criminal case and not a civil case, and apparently you can't make money, though there's someone that debunked that, but we don't know how true it is. There's so many things going around. But yeah, I think he's likely he did it, but I'm just saying, don't just show all the negatives, talk about it, show people that are defending him as well, and then you can make a balanced judgment.
Situation. As you guys may know or may not know, he got charged with R, and it's been all over the news. I'm going to give my honest, humble opinion, okay? I've met the guy. I personally don't like him. He's not a nice person. I'm just going to be honest. To me, anyway. I don't know. To his friends, he might be a nice person. But, if you've met him in real life, you'll know he acts in a certain way, especially if he's around people. He has a very big ego. And
yeah, that looks like it could be true
on a lot of people.
You know, and of course, we're going to see where the court case goes. I'd be very curious to see when the photos get released or if they leak. That'd be really interesting because when they talk about a history of violence, that sounds super aggressive. But if it just turns out,
we need to see the photos. We need to see like what they're talking about because it's easy to say shit, and you want to like believe the powers that be unless they have their own agenda. You want to hope that they're being fair, and you want to hope that they're not, you know, making this a hyperbolic thing. And they show the history of violence, and it's like a bruise that you'd get from knocking your leg on a table or some shit. Like, I don't know. Anyway,
to be a few bruises, it's going to make me look at the prosecution completely differently. Have they just been lying in court? Have they been lying to the public in regards to what they actually saw? But obviously, in the court's opinion, as well as the judge, not only were the allegations serious, but the proof that they needed to be able to hold him there on very strict bail where he couldn't leave, he couldn't talk about this court case publicly, he had to leave a deposit.
All right, let's check out what other people got to say. Philly on bail. This is the video I watched.
Young Philly's apparent victim has been exposed as an OnlyFans star.
Is that real? Why is nobody else talking about this?
I'm just going to give you guys time to read this comment because this bitch sounds so fucking stupid and I will school you.
Where is this information coming from? Is she legit? Like, who is this chick? I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but this girl apparently has all this information. This is a Nigerian
quickly, and I'll get onto other comments that I
chick
keep
I was
seeing
talking about.
in my videos. Now,
Nigerian Aussie. I don't know if she's Nigerian.
I don't know if this guy's name is Young Philadelphia and he calls himself Philly for short. I don't really know these people like that, but
the way she says that sounds so fake to me, man. Like, she says it as if she's trying to distance herself from any kind of association of Young Philly, like, but it's like acting like deliberately or something. It doesn't feel genuine the way she says Young Philadelphia. I'm like, what do you mean? Why would you even talk about that? It just seems forced. I don't know.
I'm sure that's it. Anyways, Young Philadelphia, Young Philly, whatever he is, I don't know this man. I don't even know his songs. I don't give two shits about this man. If I walk past this man in the street, I wouldn't even know who he is, okay? So let's get that clear. People talking about, you're a pick me. If I want to be picked, it is not by Young Philadelphia. No shade. So this girl talking about, oh, it's a criminal thing, rah.
Maybe she's just trying. Maybe she's just trying to be funny with the Young Philadelphia thing. I don't know.
In Australia, when you take someone to court, if that person is found guilty, you can take yourself straight to a claims lawyer. And in Australia, we know that claims lawyers, they are the most notorious of notorious. Those people are pit bulls on leashes. That's how much I got. That's $20,000 off $1 million. I tried to sue for more, but because it never went to court, because we did mediation and we did a settlement, that's what I managed to get, okay? So yes, you can sue someone to get money, okay? Secondly, I'm not one to sit there and back a predator. If I know that someone's innocent, it's just so obvious, okay? So people talking about, oh, you're backing a predator. Bitch, this is my article. I'm not here to back no predators. I'm not going to get into it. You guys don't need to read it.
That's her article.
I'm not backing no fucking predator. I don't do that. If I see something is wrong, I will call it out, and I don't give a fuck about anyone on social media thinking they can come for me. Me, bitch? You can never. On my soul, you can never, okay? So let's just get that clear. You guys think you're dissing me? You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. If the case was as serious as everyone's making it out to be on social media, that man would be behind bars. The fact that he's still allowed to roam the streets, he is not on an ankle monitor. Yes, he has to report 3 times a week, but if a matter like his was very serious, the police will put reporting once a day or twice a day. Okay, so it's not that deep. Those are standards. The reason why he had to forfeit his passport is because I'm pretty sure, well, from the looks of things, until he goes to court on the 16th of December and he amends his bail, he has to, you know, pretty much argue to a judge on why he should be allowed to go back to the United Kingdom. If the judge deems that he's going to show up to court, he's not going to go to the United Kingdom and just disappear, they will let him go back. And he will have to face his charges and everything from the United Kingdom. But when it comes to sentencing, he will have to come back to Australia for his sentencing, just in case he is found guilty. Okay, cool. Now we get into the CCTV. If the police are claiming the CCTV are as serious as they're saying it is, that man would have been in jail. Okay, that man would
I don't
have
know.
been in
I don't know if
jail
she's a
because
lawyer.
you
I
guys
know
have-
apparently she's like writes articles. That's what she's shown a second ago. But I don't know if this chick's a lawyer or what, or how she has this information, or. But yeah. Anyway, this you should check out the original video. That's the one where she goes into the details of why she thinks the girl might be lying, why she's going after her bag, and all this kind of stuff. But this is just her responding to people that think she's a pick-me and she's lying, and that the charges are proof. Him having to pay bail is proof that he did it. Basically, there's enough proof, and she's trying to say no, this is standard stuff when you're alleged, for a crime.
No, in Australia, anything that has to do with assaulting a female, DV, Australia, you're going to jail. They don't care. They don't want to.
I don't know if that's true. That's what she claims. I know she lives there, but I don't know what her deal is with this whole situation. She claims that she's doing it because she thinks what's happening to him is wrong and no one's defending him. But is she just trying to get clout? I don't know. She's a journalist, and maybe she's trying to get her name out there. No one else is really talking about it. Abba and Preach somehow hasn't come across this. They seem to always get all this info and all these clips and all these videos, but not this one. I don't know.
Someone has come forward in my DM. I'm not going to say the person's name. That had an arrangement with young Philly. That had intercourse with young Philly. The messages are there. The screenshots are there.
This chick might just be making her own story up or some shit. There's something that feels off about this, but who knows? She could be telling the truth. I don't know.
The proof is there. They've screen recorded, the messages and then tapped on his profile to make sure, I know that it's actually genuine. So we're going to hear from that person. And don't you guys find it funny that young Philadelphia, whatever the man's name is, slept with all these girls, but he just happened to grape one? Really? Okay.
I don't know if that's a good reason or a good excuse. It's a first time for everything, right? But anyway, I don't know. Check out the original video on the What's the Scene Saying channel. I think it's called, where is it? Young Philly's victim exposes OnlyFans star. Check this video out. I'm not going to react to it now because I've already seen it and I don't want to go into it and I've already had my thoughts on it. But check that out if you really want to know what she has to say. Let's see what this 17-year-old girl has to say, apparently.
What's the Scene Saying? This girl is claiming to have had a traumatic experience with young Philly when she was 17 years old.
To be honest, I never planned on saying anything at all. It's only because of what's come out now that I feel like I should have said something in the past and I should say something now.
In this generation we're in, man, I feel like bare people can just come out for clout, for attention. They could be lying, they could be just, But I feel like in these days, where you're going to come out and jump on someone that's getting investigated for sexual assault or anything, investigate for anything, you need to come out with some kind of evidence or showing that you do know the person in some way, shape or form and not just talk.
4 years ago, I spoke to a young Philly on Instagram DM. He DM'd me and I ended up going to his flat. Him and his management, they worked very hard to manipulate me, obviously me when I was 17, and to make me feel like if I said anything then they could ruin my life would be over, it'd be awful for me, awful for my mental health. So they convinced me to stay quiet. And right now I just feel awful because I feel like in light of what's happened to this poor woman in Australia, maybe it could have been prevented if I'd said something before. I was 17 and when it first happened, the incident, I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. I was very alone and I was very embarrassed and I literally didn't know what to do. I didn't want to talk about it then, and to be honest, I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to go into details. It's embarrassing and it's horrible to relive it. However, I also don't want him to get away with this.
Put your thoughts.
Bro, she didn't really say anything. She said an incident happened. Young Philly DM'd her. She went back to his place. His management were there and they were manipulating her. And then the incident happened. Now, she's saying don't tell anyone about this because we could ruin your life or something. It's very vague. Like, she didn't even claim if she was raped, or she didn't even claim if she just had sex and she regretted it, or she was manipulated into sex or coerced into sex. Or she's implying almost like she had sex with him consensually, but not really consensually, because she didn't really want to, but she was kind of coerced into it. Either way, it just sounds so vague, and you have to go into more details if you're going to make a claim like that, you know? Took her a couple, and she sounds like she's lying. She posted it to Snapchat. She was only 17. She must have had zero idea what she was doing, going to his apartment for. I wonder if she even disclosed her age to Philly. What are you doing at someone's flat at 17? Let's see this. Young Philly friends don't care about him.
Saying. Following the Young Philly allegations, the general public have been waiting for his friends to react to the situation. But so far, only Chunks and Angry Ginge have spoken out, and Chunks didn't have much to say about it.
I can't and won't be commenting on it.
Yeah, we know.
Also continued to post videos as usual, and Harry Pinero seems to care more about his looks than his own friend.
Oh, wait.
No, yeah, put it loud, please. Do you know what it is, yeah?
Are these recent? Is this what Harry Pinero's been posting while Philly's getting bagged in Australia, man? And then his boy is just posting these kind of clips. I hope these are old.
Waves are just... Yeah. But look, this has ruined my whole day, man. Look, right there. Here's what it is, though.
These two are saying that if Philly comes out of this innocent, then he should cut off all of these people.
If Young Philly beats this, you better cut all those niggas off.
Yeah, Beta Squad.
Yeah, you better.
I can imagine Philly coming out and being like, "Look, man, I understand what you lot had to do. Like, it's a business thing." you know how he talks. I can just imagine it. Be like, "I understand that. Like, you had to protect your bag and that. You don't know what's going on. You like, I get it. It's business, innit? It's not personal." I can imagine Philly talking like that. He's not gonna cut no one
Tell
off.
Chunks, suck a dick,
Speed,
Sidemen, all the
KSI,
niggas, bro.
Where's my man's brethrens? Where's his brethrens? All you man all make all these happy podcasts, all happy. Every podcast is grinning teeth. You know, Young Philly's got that exaggerated laugh. Bare exaggeration going on. Good times, not about good times with you guys, yeah? Where are you lot now your brother needs you? You have a brother, your own, this is your brother. Eh? Someone that you've made money with. Someone you guys came in the game with.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, it's just business, isn't it? That's how they look at it. It's just business. Like, maybe Chunks is calling him. Maybe even Harry, well, I don't know. If the posting shit like that is mad when this shit, you should just be quiet at this time. Don't be posting nothing. If you're boys, you don't be posting stuff about your pimple and that, man. Like, you gotta be worried about your boy. The Sidemen, they're a big brand. I understand. Like, they gotta kind of keep things massively on a DL, you know. But you don't know. They might be calling him on the side, but they might not be saying nothing. I mean, saying something publicly would really help the boy. So, but they're also thinking about their brand. It's all business at the end of the day. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. A real boy will come out and defend him. It's weird how these random Nigerian/Australian chicks and random white old links from the past are coming out to defend you, and your actual boys aren't coming to defend you. It's kind of crazy, but business is business, you know. So what do you guys think? What's your thoughts on the Young Philly situation? Please leave some comments. I know I don't always talk about stuff, mainly gaming and gaming news and movie news is mostly my main thing on this channel, but I also like the UK scene, the UK YouTubers and Sidemen. I've got reactions, got the boxing reactions, and Young Philly's part of that world, so I had to talk about this, man. It's interesting. Everybody's getting it in 2024, man. Cat Williams literally opened Pandora's box, and now everyone's getting it. I might make an update video about this and talk about more when more news comes out. Could you imagine if he's found innocent? That would be crazy. That woman in Australia making this claim would have single-handedly, like, added another massive L for women making claims of rape against them, you know, like actual claims that are true. It's going to be even harder for them now. Like, and men are just not going to trust women even more. It'll be crazy. But anyway, he's likely guilty from what I'm seeing. I don't know. I don't know if I want to be wrong or I want to be right, because if I'm wrong, it's fucked. Like, that means she lied, which is fucked. Like I just explained before, why it's fucked. And an innocent man, his career is absolutely ruined, and more reason not to trust a lot of certain women, especially if you got money and you're a celebrity. But if I'm right, then the poor girl's been great, and we're a terrible judge of character, and who knows how many poor innocent people are getting hurt in the Hollywood scene, just like everyone else has been coming out. We're finding out about in 2024, you know, like it's just a lose-lose all the way around, man. It's crazy. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this whole Young Philly situation. Young Philly getting silly, being a silly Billy with his Willie. This is crazy. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.